Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. I'm going to do this is a tray mold from Amazon, and I'm going to make a bowl out of it is my plan. I've got an extra coaster mold over here. I'm going to show you everything I've used, and everything will always be below the video in my links. I mixed 16 ounces and it's starting to warm, but I haven't poured anything yet. I'm going to mix 3 colors. One is white, and I've put a spoonful, I would say about 1/3 of a spoon, and this is my spoon size compared to my finger, of angel wings by Etsy Sunshine Color Shop. As you see me go in the video, I'll have my mask on, but I'm going to use Cast and Craft white alcohol ink by Pinata. That will be the white mixture. The resin I've used is Counterculture medium viscosity. It's always my go-to for any coasters, trays, bowls, anything. This mold holds probably at least 28 ounces or more. I'm only going to put about 14 or so in today, and about 2 ounces in the coaster. You only want the mold about halfway full if you're going to do a bowl, because if you fill it all the way to the top, when it cures it'll be too thick to mold and bend. And Counterculture is great at around 5 hours or so. You can usually touch it and it's not tacky. You can remove it from your mold and you can manipulate it and bend it to make your bowl. That's why I chose Counterculture, because I'm so used to working with it. I did mix this on my Resiners mixer. I'll put the link up in the corner. I mixed it for 6 minutes, and then I've been letting it just sit, and the bubbles come to the top, that kind of thing. Very little bubbles. After I mixed it for 6 minutes, I reset my timer, and it started from 1 counting up, and it's now at 28 minutes. So we're going to do timing and temperature. For my gold mixture, I put in about a spoonful of this little piggy gilded mica powder, which is a brighter gold, which kind of matches the gold that's in these little glass bits that I've already put in my tray. And I'm going to put just a little tiny bit of resin pigment, bright gold by Just Resin. And then I'm going to do a purple mixture, and I put about 1/2 spoonful of Nightfall by this little piggy. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Persian Violet, which is a metallic resin paste by Just Resin. So I'm going to do a combination of a little bit of pigment paste and mica powder. I'm going to go ahead and put about 1 ounce into each cup. I use baby wipes and 21% alcohol for cleanup. It works the best. It works together. It works terrific versus just a paper towel. I am going to mix these in a minute when I put my mask on after I've finished talking to you. You can tell your mold has been used a lot when you put something in your mold, like these little glass bits, and they slide around really easily. That means your mold is kind of dull, and it's not. Usually silicone molds have a little bit of drag to them. And this one is very slick, so I've used it a ton of times, but it has held up super well. And then the glass bits I got on Amazon, and they're just a multicolored glass bit. It's really small. So I put them all around the edge of this mold and around the edge of the coaster mold. And I've got some more that I'm going to put in the middle. So I'm going to put my mask on. Let's just check the temperature. I don't do Celsius, but it is about 34 Celsius, which is 93 Fahrenheit. So I'm going to give it just a little bit more time, then I'm going to go ahead and mask up and start mixing my colors. Use a mask and goggles or glasses. This has a filter in it that's good for odors and gases and things like that. Everything's below my video. I'm gonna sit for 5 hours. We'll be back to check it to see if we can take it out and mold it. The purple kind of got washed out, so I could have gotten probably a lot stronger with my pigment and makeup. The gold is about what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be kind of translucent a bit. Of course, the white is the white. We'll just have to see. Hopefully there's no blobs and it'll be a pretty effect on the other side. You can pretty much use either side because you're not going to put a background layer on it. It looks really not that deep in the mold, but when you look at the mold from the side, it looks deeper. But anyway, we'll put it in a bowl and mold it. And then my last step, always with a bowl or anything else, is to coat it with a layer of fast set. That kind of really sets it in place, and it gives it a glass-like appearance more so. As the mold is not super shiny, so when I pull it out, it's going to be dull looking. So that fast set is just a reinforcement to make it really set up nice and hard in the shape that it ends up in, and it gives it more of a glass-like effect. So I'll be back. Okay, it's been about 6 hours. It's been a little rainy outside, so it's taken longer for things to cure. I'm gonna see what this one looks like first. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. So I'm wearing gloves so I don't leave any fingerprints, and you do not want the resin to bend back and touch itself, or it will stick to itself when it's not fully cured. So you have to be careful handling it. And it also will stretch at this point, so be careful with that as well. So here's this side. I'll show it to you on the white. There's that side. And here's this side. So a little bit different, but a little bit more dimension on this side. So we want this to be face up. You can choose between the different sides. I've got this bowl, and I don't remember where I got it, but it's shiny plastic, which is what you want, so that your piece doesn't stick to the bowl. And then you gently press it in. So I'm going to just fast forward through this part. Take a minute. And if it sticks to the bowl, there's nothing you can do about moving it. So I'm just going to stretch it down, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's dull. Like I said, from the mold being used over and over again. This part was face down, so definitely going to let it cure and then put a layer of fast set to make it glassy looking. But I like all the ripples and everything, so that looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do, just to keep it weighted down, I'm going to stick a mold inside it to protect the bottom, and just put a bottle in the middle just to keep it weighted down while it cures. So we'll wait till tomorrow, and then I'll do a layer of fast set to set it. I'll be back tomorrow. So I mixed up about 1.5 ounces or so, 2 ounces max of counterculture DIY fast set. You can only use it for projects where you've got about 10 minutes working time. It's not made for using to do special effects or anything like that. So what I'm going to do, this is a little 6-inch turntable, and I have frog tape that's facing up that I've taped down. And so I put my coaster on here just so I can turn it easily. And I'm going to put about that much resin on there. Fast set is very thick and syrupy, so I heat it just a little bit to get rid of a few bubbles because it's very bubbly after you mix it. But it also makes it just easier to spread. And I'm taking it to the edge of the coaster, kind of in a sweeping motion. So I'm kind of turning it with my other hand, my thumb. But I'm also in lighting where I can see that I'm making it all the way to the edge of the coaster, but it's not going to go over the edges because of the thick syrupiness of it. Couldn't get that one out for some reason. Okay, so that. I'm just going to move that aside. So now I have that rest of, which is probably about 1.5 ounces at the most. My hands are clean, fresh gloves. Even though it's cured, you want to use gloves because you're going to be putting the resin in. You have to just gently pull it away from the edge of the bowl. And you're going to hear a little movement and popping sound like that. So it's releasing from that shiny plastic. So if you had a dull plastic bowl, it wouldn't be so easy. And then we're going to just pop it out. Doesn't do anything to the bowl. So here's the underside. It looks fine, it's shiny, but see how dull this looks? So now I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to pour this resin into the bowl. And you need to keep an eye on your time. After you've mixed it, you've got really just 10 minutes before it really gets tacky and sticky and it sticks to your gloves. It's just a big mess. So you've got to work pretty quickly. And then I'm going to take a heat gun. This may make your bowl rest a little bit, kind of ease and kind of fall out, but you don't want to do it very long. I'm going to do it on low. And basically what I'm doing is just heating that thick resin. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my non-dominant hand that's clean. I'm going to hold the bowl from underneath, and I'm going to take my good hand and just rub it all around and up all the little edges and inside all the little dips and so forth. And see, the bowl is bending. As you can see, it just bent because it's a little flexible because I just heated it with the heat gun. Okay, now I'm going to take my torch and just try to pop any bubbles. And I'm just going to look at it in the light and just make sure I've got every area kind of covered. I'm just kind of taking my finger and running along the top edges where the glass bits were, just to help with that shine as well. I'm going to take it because it is relaxing from heating it, and I'm going to put it back in this bowl. So I'm pretty much done with that because it's going to pretty much keep its shape. It's not going to really change on me. I'm going to remove my glove. I'm just going to heat it again with the low temp heat tool. I'm actually going to press on this just a little bit just to make sure it's down far enough to keep that shape. Don't want to lose that bottom shape. So I did a little different effect in the coaster. I do have one little purple blob. I kind of wish I had done the swirl where you do the sections where you drag it. But with this, I kind of went in a zigzaggy kind of pattern all the way around. And with this one, I've swirled those designs, so it gives more of a petal effect. Can you see that? I wish I had done that in the bowl. But anyway, I'm going to let these sit for 2 hours and they will be ready to touch. And they will continue to cure, but you can touch it in 2 hours. It will be cured enough to touch it in 2 hours. So I'm just going to let it sit for now. I'll post pictures at the end. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Love you all.